So I think if you're putting 5K together, what you want to do is look at where you want to spend it. You don't have to spend it, but you can wait to the right time. But you want to see. I mean, we all know you want to double your return, triple your return. But I think the model is really most people want to triple, right?
Right.
Put that money back, invest the other, and this is profit. But I think in music, you need about 3 years before you can start thinking like that.
Got it.
If you're starting that at the beginning.
This is James Rousseau, a.k.a. Trig, and let me welcome you to the CoreLink Solutions Show. To set a reality for people, right? I mean, to me, it feels like right now, CHH is running at a pace of at least 40 new releases every week.
Yeah, it's a lot.
At least. That's what I feel like I see, right?
And I think so. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot out there.
And I have to assume to a certain degree, editorial playlists, almost like radio, we just can't take all the 40 releases. We just can't. Even if they were all outstanding.
Well, you guys have to almost kind of have the same attitude that Spotify has.
That's what I'm saying. And so
actually probably more like Apple because they're limited.
Okay.
Spotify has a lot of.
Do they? They have many more. Yeah. So maybe use the Apple example. Out of every 10 songs that come out, even if they're all great, how many do you think they're going to take?
Of yours?
Of any artists. Let's say,
10 great songs?
Yeah.
They're going to take the bigger brands first because that brings people to the platform. They usually save room for, Apple, they've been a lot more supportive of late, or at least more proactive. I'm not sure, I mean, there's only so many people that are working, so if they get pulled away, they can't really focus on it. But I would say, at Apple, every week, maybe 2 to 5 songs get added.
Got it.
They got other playlists, but I would say in hip hop they're gonna pull 2 to 5. They don't have a lot of space.
Got it.
Spotify. Now I could be wrong about Apple, but from what I've seen in the playlist that they put them on, unless you get hip hop involved, then you're gonna get a little more support.
Right.
So I have to work Apple a different way.
Gotcha.
I have to parse it out a little bit.
Gotcha.
But Spotify is a lot more like. They've just really developed. Ritz has done a good job at developing.
Shout out to Ritz.
Yeah, I mean, she's just seeing what she's done.
Yeah,
like and seeing, like she didn't even tell me this. I just see it. Like I see that she's built out more areas and more opportunity. She, that's the good thing about someone in there that gets it.
Yeah,
that knows how to bridge it. And we're very fortunate right now.
Fortunate.
And I just wish artists understood like how lucky we are to have people in the game that are interested. And what's happening is it's creating more, like getting radio, which is not something we used to have. We definitely didn't have. We had one Sirius station that maybe we could get on, which was Kirk Franklin's show.
Praise? You're not getting no praise.
Yeah, we have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, you're special, bro. Because I mean, they don't
Derek
do.
Got on it. Yeah.
Y'all special because they won't do hip hop.
Yeah, it was Change the World.
Got it.
So kind of hip hop.
You kind of went around the back door a little bit.
Yeah, it was like that was like Derek's most CCM song.
Yeah, I was gonna say you went around the corner a little bit.
But that was a big hit for us though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's tough to get on that one. And so think about it. You got this station, you got Boost, you got Engine, you got Hot down in Florida.
Yep.
There's a station in Idaho, there's Tulsa. There's another one up north in Maine, I think. There's Atlanta. There's a guy down there that's really dope that's starting to do stuff. There's Track Stars, right? There's more than that. There's a lot more stations. I don't know them all, but they're just constantly hitting us.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can get radio, the fact that you can get coverage on websites, the fact that you can get on playlists, man, you talk to anyone in hip hop trying to come up, those things are not open.
Right.
And you're getting those for free.
Right.
Right? Like no one's charging you really to work those things. Right? Not really. Not what they could be charging you.
Right.
Do you know what it's $3,000 to do a CHR promo campaign? That's how much it costs for someone to work their music to Hot CHR.
To the Hot CHR stations?
Yeah.
For the promoter?
Yeah.
Wow.
On average. And I'm gonna tell you, you don't make money off of radio and Christian. Not really.
Well, like you said earlier, it's $30,000 for a big. I mean, I know someone who just ran a big gospel campaign for a song. I think it was 35. I think they spent 35.
Yeah.
To work a song, right?
Yeah. And see, this is why you do it later. If your song, if the people will tell you what they like. Right. Back in the day, we had to guess a little bit because it was downloads. So it wasn't as easy to really tell where you could still kind of tell, but it was different because they bought a whole album.
Right.
So, everything downloads. But so you kind of had to guess what the single was or push a single, basically. Now you can be reactive.
Yeah.
Because the fans will listen and tell you, I want that right there. And that's the one you go with. You take it to the promoter. You say, hey, what do you think? Will it work?
Mm-hmm.
Promoter goes, yeah, I think I can do it. They'll take it. Or they say, nah, I don't think so, man. This is rough. And if you don't like their answer, go to another promoter and see. But, you know, if a promoter says no, they're losing money.
Yeah.
So take their word for it.
Yeah.
At least take it into consideration.
Take into consideration. Yeah. Big time. That's interesting on the on some of those marketing things too, because the question I have is, you know, when you spend that kind of money on a radio campaign, $30,000, and I think for the one person, part of the goals was to chart Billboard. I'm thinking, how do they think about the return? Right? What do you think that's going to generate for you? Now, maybe you say, you know, in gospel space, hey, if I get Billboard top 20, then I will probably be asked to join said tour, or, you know, so on and so forth. It's going to open up these opportunities. How do you think about that, man, in terms of investment and return?
I don't think that. I don't think that's a thing, man. Like the reason why is because it seems like the gospel billboards don't line up with the streaming results, right? Like they're two different worlds.
Well, the gospel billboards are driven by airplay,
right? But what I'm saying is, like, you can play with that.
The media-based numbers, right, are driving a billboard.
But you can manipulate that. You can go get plays somewhere and it count. You know, depending if they're a BDS reporting station. So now, technically, if you're BDS, typically you have a bigger station because you're paying for that BDS.
Correct.
But
there's some internet stations on there. Yeah.
But what I've noticed though, is I see names on that list that I don't recognize. You know, so it's like,
understood.
Yeah, is it a hustle or you know, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But what it should be though is what you say, where I look at that list and go, "Yo, who's this? Man, this mug is like already on the radio."
Right.
But like I've been trying to say, like that should be the thing you do after, right? Not before. Because if it worked, I know people that work a lot of radio, I'd never see it reflect in anything else they're doing. You know, there's people that just kind of live in that world, like the radio world. Look, I'm on this and that.
Right.
But across the board, it's not translating.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really like when Nima told me that I got it right away. It's like I got the hit, I did the video, I got the views. What are we missing? We got all this money we made off the song. Let's go to radio. Let's take it as far as we can.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's like the last
piece of the puzzle, like really going up. But that's a ground up approach,
right?
And there's still many searching the top down approach.
There is, and look, I don't, you know, I'm not here to say it's not real or anything. I'm just saying that if you're seeing a lot of results there, but not anywhere else, you know, you got to ask, like, what's the disconnect?
What's the disconnect? Yeah, that's good. When you think about working with different artists in this budget, because almost like what you said, hey, if you're going to do $500 per single and you subscribe to the 6-week algorithm thing, that theoretically is 8 to 9 singles a year. So if you're planning for 2025, it's like, great. Okay, so put aside a marketing budget of roughly 10 songs, so $5,000 to market all your songs for next year.
Yeah.
How should they think about their return?
Well,
how do you know, for that younger person?
It depends on the area you're in, but you know, there's ways to make your money back, right? There's things that you could get that will help do that. Sirius is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
If you can get on,
let's assume Triggs, you're never going to make it a Sirius, right? You need about 1 million streams to get about 4,000 roughly.
No, that's a different approach. Then we just get we all get our hoodies on, black Nikes. We ride down to Philly.
Here we go. You see, Max? You see what I'm dealing with?
I call my people in Philly, tell them meet me over here at Glen Mills.
Right, at Glen Mills. My iPad's dying, so I got to bring up my questions on the phone.
I thought you was calling your people on me already. I was like, I went too far.
Right, calling my protection. Yeah.
Hey, come get this dude out of here. But no, without radio, you know, which is definitely the reality for most people, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got to spend money to see growth. It's not going to happen. There are times where you'll have something go viral, but they almost want you to pay for it every time, right? So like if it's starting to pop, like my wife does TikTok videos, and every time she hits 300, she gets a message. This is doing good. You should promote it, right?
No.
Yeah.
I heard boosts don't really work.
They don't. I mean, look, on TikTok,
it's like a money suck.
Well, it don't really make sense because on TikTok you can't really connect your fans back to you as like you can on Instagram. So it's at least not as far as I know.
Okay.
I know things change, right? So, but TikTok has always been more challenging when it comes to connecting the dots.
Gotcha.
There was a time where they wouldn't let you promote your music there because they were going to be a distro service at one time. Then they killed that, came back. So who knows? And then you got to think about, we still haven't resolved the TikTok issue, but they're done in December if they don't figure something out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Forgot about that.
It don't get easier at the end of the year.
Yeah.
How about it? You know how Congress is during the holidays.
Yeah, how about it? They go for real.
They go. They got to. They're wore out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Instagram is the way. So I think if you're putting 5K together, what you want to do is look at where you want to spend it. You don't have to spend it. You can wait to the right time. You want to see. I mean, we all know you want to double your return, triple your return. But I think the model is really most people want to triple, right?
Right.
Put that money back, invest the other, and this is profit. But I think in music you need about 3 years before you can start thinking like that.
Got it.
If you're starting that at the beginning.
That's good to hear. You need about 3 years.
You need about 3.
That's good.
Just don't do like going after a radio campaign because that's what wherever you found the artist may or may not be where other people are going to find you. So it's like doing shows. I tell people all the time, like, if they ask me, like, man, I'm trying to do a show, but they're only paying me this much, and I got to bring. I'm like, you don't got to bring anybody. You could walk up there with a computer and push go and perform. If they're not paying you to bring the other things,
right,
then you either don't do it or you just don't do those things.
Right.
They're paying you for what you're offering. So set a template like, hey, me and a DJ, this price. Me, DJ, drummer, me and the band.
Right.
These are my ranges because I got to pay these people. So, same thing with all the rest of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be on radio right now. You don't have to even be on an editorial right now. But to finish that train of thought with the editorials, what I was getting at is this. When you're starting out and you're at the the beginning or the earlier part of your career, it's true, no one believes, right? No one believes until there's a reason to believe. So, and that's every artist story. I know I hear all these revenge stories from artists, and it's like you and every artist that's walked this earth has dealt with this.
All the revenge stories.
Yeah, it's like, funny, you guys it's like, no, this is what it took for you to get to that point.
Right,
so,
right.
No one lost. It's just the way it is.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Spotify has plenty of music. They have plenty of people to support.
Right.
They're overworked, and so are all the rest of them. And so at the end of the day, your consistency will eventually catch and raise eyebrows.
Right.
That's if the standard being you're making good music. And if you're consistent and you keep coming across the desk and you come across the desk right, eventually they're going to go, let me check it out. And they might support it. And if they do, it's they're doing what's called taste making.
Yeah.
Right. They're giving you a shot because you've been consistent. Because they still get audited. They got to explain stuff.
Right.
Labels get mad every week that their artists aren't on playlists.
Right.
And they look on the playlist for the artists that shouldn't be there and the one that should be there. They're artists.
Yeah. No, that's good.
I don't do that. But
good.
Some do. That's their whole job. Right.
That's good.
Yeah. The only reason I don't do it is because I got other stuff to do.
I'm seeing like these two pictures. So on the one picture, I'm seeing, 3 years, $15,000 for marketing.
Right.
I'm going to say $15,000 for production, mixing, mastering. I'm going to say $5,000 for legal and other. So I'm going to say $35,000. Okay. All right. I'm just going to start there and say, put your $35,000 in your investment bucket. And you can do it progressively.
That's not bad for 3 years.
That's not bad.
No, it's
for any legal
about
business.
$10K a year is pretty good.
Yeah, for any legal business, you know what I'm saying? To say you can get something towards a return. So then I'm seeing this other chart that's almost like on the x-axis months and on the y-axis monthly listeners.
Yeah.
Right? And that way you almost could see like, okay, great. So do a release, build up a small fan base, work the local traps, work the free traps, work content.
Yep.
And then as you get up there, great. You've opened another door or milestone inflection point. Spend a little on some ads and experiment.
Yeah.
Do a little more, keep doing a little more, spread out events a little further from home. Then you open up another trap, seek radio when songs break, da-da-da. Like, I can see a nice little chart.
Yeah. I mean, there really is. You could put in like areas where, and the chart changes from year to year.
Sure.
But
and it's not meant to be exactly sequential either, right?
No, it's an idea, a theory of how it works.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just so everyone knows, man, that's really music now. It's constant music theory. Everyone is looking at it and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. the same way I look at critique stuff, people are looking and critiquing what we're doing. So I think that's natural for people that are in the positions we're in to look at something and go, that worked, or why didn't they do this? And part of it is our desire to see it do well.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, dang it, man. Like, why, it's not from like the talk down perspective.
Right.
But more like, this could have been,
To me, it's just like having a game plan, right? And saying, could something it's like playing football. Could you throw a Hail Mary? Absolutely. Is that the game plan? Absolutely not. Like, we got to ground and pound.
Right.
Keep getting first downs.
Right.
And get down the field.
We ain't got the long range passer,
you know what I mean?
It's gonna be a long night.
Every now and then we're gonna try to throw one.
Dip in the ice tonight.
I mean,
we gonna sit for hours.
Exactly. And so no, that's good.